Welcome. Today we're going to talk about promotion. We're going to talk about the ugly reality of self-promotion. We're going to talk about how, as reticent as you are to let those words leave your mouth, I'm great, you should buy this product. If you have any intention of selling a comic book in 2023, you may just have to do this. The publishers are not currently equipped. This is not a knock against any of the marketing people at those publishers, any of the PR people that work in comics. It's not a knock against anyone to say everyone is overworked because there's not a ton of money at the moment, and as a result, everybody is doing the job of two people. If you want to sell books, you're going to have to get in the trenches. This is a thing that I've learned way too late. I had contemporaries who really shot past me early in our careers. Is it possible that they're better writers than I am? It's possible, but I can read and know they're not. Is it possible that they are better promoters of their own work than I am? Yeah, that's possible, and it's not a cop-out. I'm not trying to absolve myself because I should have been doing that. Like those people are right. Those creators are smarter than I am. So this is not in any way against self-promotion. In fact, this whole episode, this whole video is about coming to terms with the fact that I have to sell things. And this is a video for myself in many ways. But I wanted to talk about all the reasons that we don't like to sell things. And for some people, that's certainly self-esteem stuff. Maybe they're not they don't come from a family of artists, and nobody ever told them that what they're doing is important. Maybe they suffer imposter syndrome. Whatever it is, there just might be a personal matter why they don't feel comfortable venerating themselves and extolling their own work. There might be a reason. Then some of us come from subcultures or other backgrounds where there's something gauche about self-promotion, that you're not legitimate if you're doing that. And then there's also just the basic feeling that a lot of us had growing up. I'm going to do the thing. The other guy helps me sell the thing. That's what makes me the maker of the thing. So a lot of people feel that they're not good writers if they have to go out there and sell their work. Everything I just listed as a reason that people don't sell their work is not a good reason. It's not a good reason to look at your family and say, I don't have the money from my chosen profession to feed us. There's a movie out right now called The Marvels. I don't know much about it, only the trailer. I don't want to talk about the culture war bullshit about it, nor do I want to talk about the quality of the film. I probably will not see it. It's been revelatory to me in its own way, though, because I've been watching people hope to advocate for it online. It's getting, beaten up by a lot of people, and the people who enjoyed it have jumped out and said, no, it's a movie you should see. Here's why. And through their efforts, I've learned what not to do in my own life. Let me say this. When you start with, it's not perfect, but as the lead of your sales pitch for why someone should go see something, completely unnecessary. There's nobody in the world who thought that a 2023 Marvel movie that from the trailers looks like a Nickelodeon made-for-television production, nobody thought that was perfect. There's no reason to lead with it. And when you lead with, but it's not perfect, but you give the distinct impression that it's fatally flawed, because you wouldn't start your review of Killers of the Flower Moon with it's not perfect, but, even though that's just the material reality of almost everything. It's not perfect, but you wouldn't do that. So the fact that you did it for this film kind of makes somebody reading that a little suspicious. Next up, don't call something a good time or fun. I say this as a guy who writes a lot of fun work. I think that genre fiction is supposed to be fun, and if you trip over something profound, something elevated, quote unquote, it should be by accident. There is a single issue of Silver Surfer that is accidentally elevated. It is not written by an animal rights advocate. It is not written by a prison reform advocate, and yet you could apply both lenses to this throwaway story that was probably written and drawn with actual resentment because it takes place during a crossover, and you know that the team was irritated that they had to engage in this stupid line-wide crossover. So they somehow stumble into something a little smarter, a little bit more meaningful than genre, but they stumbled into it. And that's the way it's supposed to work. So I write fun things, but by watching these people advocate for the Marvels, I've realized that calling something fun, right or wrong, minimizes it. It takes all the gravitas out of it, and it doesn't really encourage you to pick it up. It seems trivial. It seems maybe frivolous. It's a thing that you don't need, right? Now, is the material reality of this world that nobody needs a 22-page $4 luxury item that you have to go to a specialty shop to buy that is a comic? Yeah, that's true. Nobody needs it. But you need people to believe that it will enrich their life. And fun is simply not enough. It's not, for starters, it's not descriptive enough. It's fun, okay. Fun like what? Fun like playing Snake on my Motorola phone? Fun, there's levels of fun, and it's simply not descriptive enough. So I've learned from the Marvels to avoid fun, avoid starting on a feeble or a weak position in but. It's not perfect, but don't do that. So what would work? What does work? Are there words that trigger cheap in your mind, that trigger not worthwhile to you? Are there words that do the opposite and say, oh, tell me more, right? I'd like to hear it, and please leave a comment. In comics, there's a lot of people who are reticent to say this meets that Hollywood-style elevator pitch. Those might be the only thing we've got that works, though. Now they have to be accurate. If you say it's Little Nemo meets Mortal Kombat, and it doesn't reflect either one of those to the eye immediately, then everybody just thinks that you're talking about something esoteric, maybe themes, and that's not worth much to the person who is making a split-second decision on to buy your product or not. A thing that comics creators love to do is say a love letter to. It's a love letter to, and we're all guilty, by the way, a love letter to the Vertigo series that, blah, blah, blah. It's a love letter to the slasher horror of blah, blah, blah. And we do this because it forgives some of our pastiche impulses, right? We can get away with more that way, but it also is just become perfunctory language that I think the average consumer glosses right over, passes right through them. It does not matter. So what language matters? And obviously the art is the first thing, that's the first selling point. But tell me, if I was to shake your hand and tell you on a car lot, hey, I want you to get into my comic book and drive it away today, what do I have to tell you to get there? What do you need to hear from me to feel confident that this is the comic book that you want to drive off the lot? It's a lot of metaphors there, but leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you.